Do you remember about a week and a half ago when I said I was tired of talking about these things? I guess I lied. Reading the articles in this magazine is basically like playing a large game of That Makes Me Think Of. If you don't know what That Makes Me Think Of is, there's a link in the doobly-doo. I use the magazines as bathroom readers because I used to use books, but reading books and episodic content like that just doesn't seem to work because, you know, you're only spending 10 minutes or so in there. But a magazine article is exactly the right kind of length for a poopy. This one has an article with Leo DiCaprio, and normally I don't care about celebrity news, but he said one thing that really got me thinking. In speaking about his acting abilities, Leonardo DiCaprio says, and I quote, "Not that I'm like a pathological liar, but we spend most of the day not fully being honest, you know?" That made me think of a conversation I had with a friend of mine about a day and a half ago. In that conversation I talked about how I used to be kind of a pathological liar, but really it wasn't so much lying as telling stories. John Green kind of talked about this when he talked about the red-green poop scenario. Basically, I really like stories, and when someone tells me a story, I pick it up in my brain, and my brain transforms it into my own story. This can lead to really awkward situations where I'm telling the person who told me the story about me. But it's not really about me, it's about them. And then they call me out on it. So I'm not really lying, per se, when I tell a story that involves someone else, but I think it involves me. I'm really just remembering wrong. Now granted, this does not excuse the lying that I used to do when I was a kid. I mean, I told some fucking outrageous lies. Some of those lies were told just because I had such a fucked up home life that I had to tell lies to make myself feel better. But as I've grown older, I realized that some of the stories that I tell that I really believe are mine, aren't mine at all. And it's not like I'm trying to steal your story. I mean, you know, it's a good story, so yeah, I'm kind of stealing it, but I'm subconsciously stealing it, which is a whole different thing. My brain picks up on these threads and it just says, that's a good story, keep it! And then it puts me as the main character because, you know, I like that sort of thing. So anyway, how many times have you told a story and been called out on it for not being your story? Just know that your brain is wired to do that.